Turkey. Budget $18.2 billion. Active frontline personnel 410,500. Tanks 3,778. Total aircraft 1,020. Submarines 13. Aircraft carrier 0. The Turkish armed forces collectively rank as the second largest standing military force in NATO after the US armed forces. The ongoing conflict in Syria and possible clashes with the Kurdish separatist organization, the PKK, and the presence of Islamic State were key reasons for the spending increase in Turkish armed forces. United Kingdom. Budget $60.5 billion. Active frontline personnel 146,980. Tanks 407. Total aircraft 936. Submarines 10. Aircraft carrier 1. The United Kingdom maintains one of the strongest economies and fighting forces in past decades. Now, the United Kingdom has a plan of reducing the size of the armed forces by 20% between 2010 and 2018 and apply smaller cuts to the Royal Navy and RAF. However, the Army of the UK is still a powerful one with its superior training, equipment and its 160 nuclear weapons being the main strengths. The Royal Navy is planning to put to service HMS Queen Elizabeth in 2020. Italy. Budget $34 billion. Active frontline personnel 320,000. Tanks 586. Total aircraft 760. Submarines 6. Aircraft carrier 2. The Italian military placed highly on Credit Suisse report due to the country's possession of 2 active aircraft carriers. These carriers, in addition to the country's relatively large submarine and attack helicopter fleets, drastically boosted Italy's ranking. South Korea. Budget $62.3 billion. Active frontline personnel 6,24,465. Tanks 2,381. Total aircraft 1,412. Submarines 15. Aircraft carrier 1. South Korea has been left with little choice but to have a large and capable military force in the face of potential North Korean aggression. With those realities in mind, South Korea has a number of submarines, attack helicopters, and active personnel. The country also has numerous tanks and the 6th largest air force in the world. France. Budget $62.3 billion. Active frontline personnel 202,761. Tanks 423. Total aircraft 1,264. Submarines 10. Aircraft carrier 4. The French military is relatively small but highly trained professional and capable of force projection. The country has the nearly new aircraft carrier, the Charles de Gaulle, and France routinely engages in military deployments throughout Africa to help stabilize governments and fight against extremism. India. Budget $50 billion. Active frontline personnel 1,325,000. Tanks 6,464. Total aircraft 1,905. Submarines 15. Aircraft carrier 2. India is one of the largest military powers on the planet. It has the most active manpower of any country aside from China and the US, in addition to the most tanks and aircraft of any country besides the US, China, or Russia. India also has access to nuclear weapons. It's expected to become the fourth highest military spender on Earth by 2020. Japan. Budget $41.6 billion. Active frontline personnel 2,47,173. Tanks 678. Total aircraft 1,630. Submarines 17. Aircraft carrier 3. In absolute terms, the Japanese military is relatively small. Nonetheless, the country is extremely well equipped. According to Credit Suisse, it has the fourth largest submarine fleet in the list. Japan also has 4 aircraft carriers, although these vessels are only equipped with helicopter fleets. Japan also has the 4th largest attack helicopter fleet behind China, Russia, and the US. China. Budget $216 billion. Active frontline personnel 2,333,000. Tanks 9,150. Total aircraft 2,860. Submarines 68. Aircraft carrier 1. The Chinese military has grown rapidly in terms of both size and capability in the past few decades. In terms of raw manpower, it's the largest military in the world. It also has the second largest tank fleet behind Russia and the second largest submarine fleet behind the US. China has also made rapid strides in its military modernization program, now developing a range of potentially game-changing military technologies including ballistic missiles and fifth-generation aircraft. Russia. Budget $84.5 billion. Active frontline personnel 7,66,055. Tanks 15,398. Total aircraft 3,429. Submarines 60. Aircraft carrier 1. The Russian armed forces are the unquestioned second strongest military power in the world. Russia has the world's largest tank fleet, the second largest aircraft fleet behind the US, and the third largest submarine fleet behind the US and China. The Kremlin's military spending has increased by almost a third since 2008 and is expected to grow 44% more in the next 3 years. Russia has also demonstrated its ability to project force abroad with its deployment of soldiers to Syria. United States budget $601 billion. Active frontline personnel 1,400,000. Tanks 8,848. Total aircraft 13,892. Submarines 75. Aircraft carrier 90. Despite sequestration and other spending cuts, the United States spends more money, $601 billion, on defense than the next 9 countries on Credit Suisse Index combined. America's biggest conventional military advantage is its fleet of 10 aircraft carriers. In comparison, India, which is constructing its 3rd carrier, has the 2nd most carriers in the world. The US also has by far the most aircraft of any country, cutting-edge technology like the Navy's new railgun, a large and well-trained human force, and that's not even counting the world's largest nuclear arsenal.